Hi everyone, today we're going to be making these stone glass magnets. They're very easy to make, very inexpensive to make. What you will need are glass accent gems, the transparent ones that you can see clear through. Make sure that you don't have a lot of broken ones such as this, because that's not going to do you any good. You can use them for other projects, but you can't use it for this one. So try to find a bag that has the least imperfections in the glass, because sometimes you will be able to see the imperfections. Okay, and so I use this tacky glue because it helps to keep the magnet on the back. The Mod Podge here it's called a puzzle saver because you can put it on the puzzle and it will seal it. But this can be used on so many different crafts. So I love to use the Mod Podge. The magnetic buttons, you can get these and the Mod Podge and tacky glue and everything basically at Walmart. They're very inexpensive, a couple dollars for a pack of these magnetic buttons. You can make 18 of these then. So you got your pencil for tracing. I've already taken care of this because I wanted to save a little time. So I've already traced my picture and cut it out. So you will need your scissors and your pencil, but I don't need to do that now. So the magazines or the pictures that you get, you notice a lot of them have the silky cover. You don't necessarily want to use those because they don't stick as well with the Mod Podge, and they get more air bubbles. So just, look inside, and the less thick pages work the best. So I've already chosen my picture. This is a lighthouse, and what I did was trace around with my stone, and then I trimmed because you don't want it to stick out the other side. So before you get ready to actually glue it on there, maneuver it around a little bit, find the best spot for it that the edges are not going over. And if you need to, take your scissors and just slightly trim until you get the desired size and fit for your stone. Okay, so once you have that done, you take your Mod Podge, shake it up. I use these little brushes because the foam brushes seem to soak up too much and I'll end up wasting the Mod Podge. So we'll take the Mod Podge, put it all over the flat side of the stone. You'll have a flat side and you'll have a kind of a bubble side, I call it. So make sure you put a good amount on there. It will dry clear, so you don't have to worry about the whiteness of it. Then you want to take your picture and put it on there like so. You can move it around a little bit briefly to get it in the right spot, but try not to move it too much because it may tear your picture. Then you take your thumbs or whatever and you kind of roll out all of the air bubbles and things like that that may affect the picture on the other side. Just like that. And see, you can look at the picture and see it's clear on the outside, but of course this camera does not let me do that. Anyway, if you can see, that's great. If not, I'm sorry. So you finish that, let that sit for just a couple seconds, and while you're doing that, take some more Mod Podge and we're going to apply it to the back of the picture, just as so. You don't want to use too much, but you want to make sure you got enough on there to seal it up real good and get all around the edges. Don't worry about the Mod Podge getting on the glass right now, because you can clean that off with a little water and a rag after everything dries. Okay, so while we have that waiting, you see the Mod Podge, I've spread it around. Now would be a good time to clean your paint brushes or whatever you're using. Give that a second to dry, because you want it to dry some but not completely, because the tackiness of it helps the tacky glue stick with the magnet. So as that dries, we'll take our tacky glue. I use the clear gel because it dries clear and it's adhesive. Some people they may prefer to use a hot glue gun, and that's fine too. I like this because I only have to use it for a second. So while that is drying, we're going to take the tacky glue, and I put just a tiny little dab in the middle, and this is because I think it helps adhese the magnet a little bit better than just the sticky stuff. And then you take it and put it right in the middle, press down. Be careful not to move it around on your surface because it can scratch the other side, and then everything you just did was pretty much for nothing because you're going to have a bunch of scratches on your stone. That's basically it. You let it dry for, let it dry for an hour or however long. When you're done, just take a rag and clean. I use a little warm water. Try not to get on the picture too much, especially if it's not completely dried. But other than that, there you go. You have a perfect little magnet, a perfect little craft you can do with your kids or your students. And it's very inexpensive and very easy to do. It's not time consuming. As a matter of fact, I have done this in about 6.5 minutes. And that's with me talking too. So once you have your picture cut out, the rest of it's a breeze. Just make sure that your picture doesn't hang over the edges, because if it doesn't seal very well, then that's going to peel off. So I hope you've enjoyed our little tutorial, and I'll be back with another one. Have a good day.